Okay, hi guys. So, like I said, I was gonna make a part 2 video to the review. Let's see. Let me go ahead and see, just a quick review of college algebra and stuff, so that I know exactly what I need to look at. And this is just in general. This is not really for any I'm not doing any specific curriculum. I'm just doing everything in algebra, just generally, a general review of everything, right? So first up is let's see here. We're gonna start, hold on, we're gonna start with linear functions, actually. So it says, so number one, this is, by the way, this is on the OpenStax book, and I will put a link in the description below. But this is just review exercises for linear functions, right? So it says, and this is determine whether determine whether the algebraic equation is linear, okay? So yes, it is linear. It's linear because it is of the form ax plus by equals c, which is the standard form of a linear function, right? Now, there's a second one that says determine, and it's another one, determine whether the function, or rather the equation, is linear. 6x squared minus y equals 5, right? Now we can solve for y, so we can say minus 6x squared on both sides, negative y equals negative 6x squared plus 5. You then divide both sides by negative 1, right? And then you have y equals 6x squared. Okay, sorry guys. So the way that you would do it is, so you want to solve for y, right? So you do minus 6x squared on both sides, and then you do divide by negative 1, you get 6x squared minus 5, y equals 6x squared minus 5. Now, this is not a linear function. Because it is not of the form y equals mx plus b. Okay, because we have a 2 here, that means that it's not linear. If you know, because obviously it's a quadratic, you know, so it's not linear. If we graph it, we're not going to get a linear function, right? The third one says determine whether the function is increasing or decreasing, right? Now, we have y equals, or f of x equals 7x minus 2. Okay, so one of the things to remember about these is that when you have, for example, y equals x, m is greater than 0. If m is greater than 0, function is increasing. If m is less than 0, function is decreasing. So we look at this one and you say, okay, our slope m is 7, so therefore, because m equals 7, the function is increasing, okay? Now, if we look at this one, f of x equals negative x plus 2, and our slope is equal to negative 1, right? Because m equals negative 1, function is decreasing. Or you can also say because m is less than 0. Either or. So number 5, or this was number 4. Number 5 says, find a linear, so let me go ahead and write it down. So find a linear equation that passes through the points 7, 5, and 3, 17. Now, you may or may not have remembered this from algebra, from your class, or from my previous videos, but when we have a linear equation, let's just go ahead and draw a line. So any line, it doesn't matter, like this, and you know, and let's say that this is our b value, and or actually, I'll say 0, b. This is what is it? X, 0. And the slope, so there's another way to do this. So if I just kind of do a little quick sketch, so let's say we have, this is x1, y1, and then this is x2, y2, right? What you're going to do is the slope means that you kind of form a little triangle, right? A right triangle. And the, so, okay, this part here is x2 minus x1, and this part over here is y2 minus y1, right? And if you want to find your slope, that's just the change in y over the change in x. If you look at the change in y, obviously it's y2 minus y1 over the change in x. This is x2 minus x1. So therefore, you do m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? This is x1, y1. Oh, and sorry, 7, 5, and this is where you kind of do a little sketch, right? This is 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be like about here, 7, 5. And then 3 17, so here's 17. 3 17, so it'd be like right here, about. So notice that the point here, so you always want to go from left to right, okay? It's 3 17, and then it's 7, 5, right? And you do, so, this is x1, y1. Remember, x1 is the lowest x value. So x1 and so that means that x1, this is x1, y1, so then this is x2, y2, okay? So x1 equals 3, y1 equals 17, x2 equals 7, y2 equals 5. So then we have m equals 5 minus 17 over 7 minus 3, right? So then that equals 5 minus 17, that's negative 12. And then 7 minus 3 is 4. If we divide this out, we have negative 3. Now, m equals negative 3. So therefore, and we know that the slope-intercept form of an equation is y equals mx plus b. So then y equals negative 3x plus b. Now we want to know what is our b value, right? What would our b value be? What you do to find your b value, you go ahead and you plot, or you use the points. You use any of the points that they gave you. Let's use 7, 5, okay? So you're going to say that, so that means x equals 7, y equals 5, so you're going to say y, or 5, which is y, equals negative 3 times 7 plus b. And then you're going to solve for b, and you have 5 equals negative 21 plus b. So then you add 21 on both sides. You get 26 equals b. So therefore, the equation is y equals negative 3x plus 26. Okay. Okay, so this one says, and it's number 7, oh, I forgot to go over the other one. Oh, I forgot to go over number 6. Okay, let me do this one after. So number 6 just says, find a linear equation satisfying the given information. So, the x-intercept is at 6, 0, and the y-intercept is at 0, 10, right? I mean, the y-intercept, I don't know why, like, it's really a point, but then they also call it, like, your b-value, or, like, they call it your y equals 3 or something like that, and it's, I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't say y-intercept equals 3. I would say y-intercept is y equals 3, or something like that, you know, y equals 10 for this one. Anyways, so we're just gonna find the slope between those 2 points. Now, again, if it helps, you can plot it. So this is, let's say this is 0, 10, right? And then this is 6, 0. So going from left to right, you want to find the slope. So let this be x1, y1. 0, 10 is x1, y1. 6, 0 is x2, y2. So then you have m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you want to find the linear equation, not just the slope, but the linear equation. So this is 0 minus 10 over 6 minus 0, right? So then you have negative 10 over 6. This is equal to negative 5 times 2 over 2 times 3. The 2's cancel out. You get that your slope is negative 5/3. Now, you have y equals mx plus b. And you want to go ahead and so you want to go ahead and let me check the, okay. You want to go ahead and, what is it called? You want to go ahead and find the linear equation. So what you do is you're going to put y equals a negative 5/3 x plus b. So then we don't know what our b value is, right? We're not sure. But we know that we know our 2 points. We can plug in 0, 10. So we have 0, 10 as one of our points. So that means that 10 equals negative 5/3 times 0 plus b, right? So that means that we have 10 equals 0 plus b, so b equals 10. So now we have y equals negative 5/3 x plus 10. And that is your answer. Okay, now we can do this one. Number 7. This was number 7. So this one is, this one says, find the slope of the line shown in the graph, right? So, again, like the slope is rise over run, which is change in y over the change in x. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to plot the point that is right here at 0, 3. And then we're going to go plot the point that's at 1, 0. And we're just going to go up however many points we need to go by. So we have 1, 2, 3. That's 3. And then we have to the right 1. So rise over run, we rose 3 units, that's 3, and then we ran 1 unit. So then our slope is 3, m equals 3. I would say m equals 3, just to kind of like, I would say both things actually. Let's see. Okay. And then, let's see here. So, let me go ahead and draw the other one. Okay, so this one says to find the slope of, so this one is number 8, right? Oh my goodness. Hold on, guys. So find the slope of the line, right? So one of the things I noticed about this one is, of course, m equals rise over run. So this one, notice that we don't really rise in this one. We're not going up by anything. So for rise, we would have 0. But we're running. So if I plot this point here, 1, -2, then I plot this one, 1, -3. I would say, oh, like it's not, we're not really rising anywhere, but we're running 1, 2 units. So then m is equal to 0. So the slope is 0 for this one, okay? Let's see, hold on. So let's go over, let's go over some application problems for, or actually, hold on, give me a second, guys. So, okay, so this one, so we're gonna do write each equation in slope-intercept form. Number 1, 2x plus 3y equals 1, right? We want to write it in slope-intercept form. That's of the form y equals mx plus b. So we basically want to solve for y, okay? So for this one, what you're going to do is number 1, so subtract 2x on both sides. So you have minus 2x on both sides. This is 3y equals 1 minus 2x, okay? And then number 2, divide both sides by 3. So then you have y equals 1/3 minus 2x over 3. So then you have y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1/3, or plus 1/3, excuse me. So this would be your answer, right? If I had x minus 2y equals 1, I do the same thing. Subtract x on both sides. Negative 2y equals 1 minus x. And then divide both sides by negative 2. And then do y equals. And then you would do 1/2 x minus 1/2, or you can do y equals x minus 1 over 2, because you would have negative 1/2 minus x over 2 over negative 2, excuse me. So then it would be, this would be equal to negative 1/2 plus x over 2, which is x minus 1 over 2 if you write it this way, right? Now, if I have something like this, and I want to write it in slope-intercept form, I go ahead and say, okay, y minus 6 equals 2 times the quantity x minus 4. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and add 6 first. So add 6 on both sides. I'm not going to do anything with the parentheses just yet. Do y equals, and then do 2 times x minus 4 plus 6, right? And then you have y equals, you're going to do distributive property, 2x minus 8 plus 6, and this gives you y equals 2x minus 2. Okay. If I have something like (2x plus 3y equals negative 9), and I want to write it in slope-intercept form, it's the same thing. I go ahead and just subtract 2x on both sides. 3y equals negative 9 minus 2x, right? So then this would be, then you would divide it by 3 on both sides. You would get y equals negative 9/3 minus 2x over 3. So then this would be y equals negative 3 minus 2/3 x, or y equals negative 2/3 x minus 3, right? One of the things that I want to, what is it called? That I want to, like, emphasize here is the idea of point-slope form. Point-slope form is used when you're given 2 points and you are given, I mean, you can use it for whenever it says, like when you're given 1 point and it tells you the slope. So for example, if I say, find the equation of the line in point-slope form where the slope is negative 1/3 and the line goes through 7, 1. Just say that. So you can say that since this is your only point, you can say that 7, 1 is x1, y1, right? So you say y minus y1, and then you say equals, and then you say m times x minus x1, right? And your slope is negative 1/3, so that means that m equals negative 1/3. Your point is 7, 1, so that means that x1 equals 7, and y1 equals 1, right? So you have y minus 1 equals, and then you have the slope is negative 1/3, so you're going to say negative 1/3 times x minus 7, right? So then your answer would be y minus 1 equals negative 1/3 times x minus 7. Okay. That is in point-slope form. Now if they told you convert to slope-intercept form, this would be y minus 1 equals negative 1/3 x plus 7/3, right? And then you would say, because you would do distributive property right here, right? Okay, you would do distributive property over here, and then you would go ahead and say, you would go ahead and add 1 on both sides, so you would add 1 on both sides. Now you would have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 7/3 plus 1. If you don't remember how to add a like a fraction with a whole number, basically it's just the same denominator, so you're gonna say negative 1/3 x plus 7/3 plus 1/1. You make the denominator the same, so you have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 7 plus 1 all over 3. So this would be y equals negative 1/3 x plus 8/3. And this would be your answer. You can also write it as y equals negative x plus 8 all over 3, right? Sorry guys, hold on. Okay, so that's how you would do it. Let's see. So now we get into linear equations, right? Or rather, parallel and perpendicular slopes. So when we say that a slope is parallel, it means the same slope. So for example, if I have I say find the slope of the line parallel, find the slope parallel to the line y equals 2x minus 3. So it would be m equals 2, right? Because it's just the same slope. Parallel is always the same slope. You don't have to change it at all. Now, if I say perpendicular, that means negative reciprocal. So it'd be, so if I said y equals negative 2x plus 1, m equals negative 2, so the slope that is perpendicular, this is just means perpendicular, would be 1/2. It would be the negative, so it'd be negative of it would be, hold on, it would be negative the quantity negative 1/2. So it'd be 1/2. Okay. So for example, if I said right? This one is a little trickier, and this is I guess this is where people kind of get like messed up, and they're like, oh, you know, it's okay. I mean, it takes practice. So, here you have find the equation of the line perpendicular to 2x plus 1 and passes through 2, 3. What you're gonna do is, so you know that so basically we know that our slope is 2, right? So that means that perpendicular, this is m equals 2 over 1, so perpendicular would be, and this is of the form a over b, so perpendicular would be, so negative b over a, okay? So that means that the slope will be m equals negative 1/2, and the point x1, y1 will be 2, 3. Okay, so we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then we want to write it in, let's just write it in slope-intercept form for this one. So we would say y minus 3 equals let's see, hold on, y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 times x minus 2, right? So we would say y minus 3 equals negative 1/2, and we're going to go ahead and distribute x minus, and then it's negative 2 over 2, right? Or rather, you can just say plus 2 over 2. So So then you have y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. And then you go ahead and add 3 on both sides. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. Okay. Okay, so let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. So now we're going to get into linear equations. So we have, let's say we have something like x minus 3 equals 1. We want to solve for x, right? So we're going to go ahead and add 3 on both sides. The way that you would do this is you would add 3 on both sides, you get x equals 4, right? Now, let's say that we had negative x minus 4 equals negative 9. This means that we have, so we're going to add 4 on both sides, right? We have negative x equals negative 5. Then we're going to go ahead and divide by negative 1 on both sides. And we have x equals 5, right? I'm trying to think what else. And then let's say that we have two x minus 4 equals 10, right? We're going to go ahead and add 4 to both sides. Then we have 2x equals 14. So then we have divide by 2 on both sides, and you get x equals 7, right? And then they give you something where, so if I have, for example, negative 2x minus 4 equals negative 10, you would do plus 4 on both sides. Negative 2x equals negative 6. You would then divide by negative 2 on both sides. You would get x equals 3, right? Now let's say we had 2 times x minus 1 equals 4, right? Or 4x, right? We have, this would be 2x, so 2x minus 2 equals 4x. So then you would subtract 2x on both sides. You would get negative 2 equals 2x. Divide by 2 on both sides, you would get x equals negative 1. And then they decide to do a little bit tougher ones where they say, I'm trying to think. Okay. 2 times x minus 1 plus 3 equals 4x. And I know it's the same example, kind of, but it's okay. So we have subtract 3 on both sides, right? So then we have 2 times x minus 1 equals 4x minus 3. And then you do 2x minus 2 equals 4x minus 3. And then by distributive property, and then you subtract 2x on both sides, so, and then you go ahead and say negative 2 equals 2x minus 3, and then you go ahead and add 3 on both sides, and you get 1 equals 2x. So you divide by 2 on both sides, and you get x equals 1/2, right? Okay, now let's do a little challenge one. Two times x minus 1 plus 4 equals 5 times x minus 3 plus 2 times x minus 1 plus 5. Okay. We're going to do distributive property. 2x minus 2 plus 4. Let me see how much time. Okay, in about 4 minutes. I have 4 minutes left. Okay. 2x minus 2 plus 4 equals 5x minus 15. So 5x minus 15 plus 2x minus 2 plus 5, right? Then you're going to combine like terms. So you have 2x minus 2 plus 4. That's 2x plus 2 equals 5x plus 2x. So 7x minus... So 7x minus 17 plus 5. That's 2x plus 2 equals 7x minus 12, right? So you're going to go ahead and subtract 2x on both sides. And then do 2 equals 5x minus 12. And then you add 12 on both sides. So you have 14 equals 5x. So you divide both sides by 5, and you get x equals 14 over 5. So I guess, well, yeah, that's how it works for this problem. If you want to look more in depth on that, there is a whole video that I did on linear equations. But I'm going to stop it right here, guys, because it's almost 50 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop it here. With that being said, guys, I hope this video helps. In the next video, we're going to move on to, let's see, we're going to do absolute value. Or no, hold on. Linear inequalities, and then we're going to do absolute value functions. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I do math content almost every day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.